Hey YouTube, Sean here from Saul Good. Welcome to my channel. And today I wanted to take you to a pretty interesting spot in Delaware County. I don't think many people know about this place. I think most people don't know about this place. Or if they know about it, I don't think many people have ever been here. But I kind of wanted to walk around and show it to you. And you know, to be perfectly honest, I don't know much about this place. I just know it exists. I've never actually been here myself, but I decided to check it out and bring you along. Now, this is the Penn Landing site. And basically, as far as I understand it, people talk about Penn's Landing in Philly all the time. There's a nice park there. But he came to this area twice, didn't he? So, you know, he kind of William Penn, when he came here, checked it out, and then he had to go back to England for some reason, maybe business related, I don't know. Sorry, it's like 16 degrees, so my hair is freezing. It's looking all crazy. It's in the teens here, but yeah, essentially William Penn, he came to Pennsylvania, checked out his colony, made sure everything looked good. I think that's when he founded Philadelphia, maybe. And then he went back to England, kind of had to do some stuff over there for a couple years. And I don't know, it sounds like maybe he neglected Pennsylvania a little bit, and the Quakers kind of had to do their own thing, and there was some self-government going on. But in any case, he basically left and came back. And the second time he came back, I believe, is where Penn's Landing Park in Philadelphia is. I think that's the second time. So the original Penn's Landing, the first time that William Penn ever came to this part of the country, when he first came over from England, I believe, is this park. The Penn Landing site. Okay, so that's why this place is important. But if you'll see here, I'll show you in a sec. I'll just turn the camera around to show you where, right there is some kind of gnarly looking, construction site. And then on this side of the park, there's a big trash heap there. So it kind of looks like a junkyard maybe. And then this is in general just a very industrial site. I'm in Chester, PA, and Chester is one of the oldest cities in America, and it's historic. It should be much more well known. I could cover a lot in Chester, PA, and maybe I will. So, but to me, I feel like this place where Penn landed in Chester, in what is now Chester, I feel like it's similar, almost to me, it's similar in importance to Plymouth Rock, right? When the Mayflower landed up in Massachusetts. Obviously, that's a very famous event, and it definitely was, important because it was the first time the colony, the English came here, right? But I feel like at least for Pennsylvania and really the Mid-Atlantic region, this particular site right here is our Plymouth Rock. It's sort of where everything around here started to really kick into gear after the drama with New Sweden and the Dutch. I mean, the New Sweden and the Dutch, they really got things started in terms of fighting with the Indians and colonizing this land. But the history, the events that led to what we now call Chester and Delaware County and Philadelphia really started here when William Penn himself landed. Okay, so let me show you the actual rock. This stone marks the spot where William Penn landed, October 28th and 29th, 1682. 1682. So there it is. There's the rock. It's almost like a grave site, but it's a memorial for the spot where William Penn landed here in 1682. That's it, right there. So, you know, it's a very special place in American history, especially Pennsylvania history. And thank you to Chester for preserving it. This site absolutely was the site of a Native American village. I know that. I think I read that. I also know, like, if you kind of look at the landscape, I'll try to show you this. Okay, so like, I know it's all junkyards around here, or around. If I'm flipping the camera around, you can see there's a bridge right there. There are train tracks that go right behind the memorial. That's a train line right there. And where the train goes over the bridge, that's Chester Creek. Chester Creek, you know, here's the thing you might start to notice in all my videos, is a lot of these sites are by the water. They're on the Delaware River, which is right there. But they're not just anywhere on the Delaware River. These sites are always where a creek meets the river. And that's specifically the case because a lot of these sites are founded where old Native American villages were. And Native American villages were almost always where one smaller body of water, like a creek, meets a larger body of water, like a river. Now, there's certain geographical advantages to putting a village at a place like that. Obviously, there's defensive reasons, but also it's good to have access to the navigation of along the creeks up from rivers. And you know, if there's high ground next to the mouth of a creek emptying into a river, that would be a great spot for a village. So you know, because the high ground won't flood when there's flooding on the bigger river or in the smaller creek, the high ground next to the creek won't flood. So it's a good spot for a village. There are other reasons, good fishing, just all sorts. We can go into that at some point. But yeah, my understanding is that the Native American villages were almost always where creeks empty into rivers or some sort of larger. They weren't always there. What I'm trying to say is where those spots exist, there probably were settlements at some point. I mean, there were settlements everywhere, but those are hot spots for village sites. And yeah, there's one like right there where the Chester Creek hits the Delaware. We're at the mouth of it. So I suspect, and I'm pretty sure, that this little park where Penn landed, you can see the monument all the way back there. I bet this little park was actually the site of a Native American village at one point. And I wonder what it was called and who lived here. Sadly, I don't know. Maybe in some book we can find that information, or if one of you in the comments section, one of you locals, if you guys know, that'd be great to let everybody else know. So yeah, this is Penn's Landing site. All right, here's the train track, and you can see the trestle where it goes over the creek. Now the memorial, the spot where Penn landed is right there. That's the marker. Through the trees, it's kind of, you go around the fence and it's right there. But here's an industrial railway on the other side. just down there is going to be Wilmington, right? Delaware. And when I say just down there, I mean it's quite a ways. We're in Chester, but it'll be down the river. And the river is about 200 yards, I want to say. 200 yards that way. Let's see. I don't think we're allowed to go over there, are we? Ooh, there is a gap in the fence right there. Right there. I could squeeze through, but I'm not going to because I want to stay alive, you know? And it looks like this place is under surveillance. I don't want to mess with that. So, anyway, here's some cool. Look at this car right next to the park. Let's go take a look. Very blue. Pretty cool. Look at that trailer. I don't know what that is. It's pretty cool. For a a food truck. On a boat. It's a jacuzzi. Yeah. So, honestly, this is often how these places are in Delco. They're sort of out off the beaten path and not much else of interest nearby, but I don't know, maybe that's not true, but at least these places haven't always been maintained, and they're often covered in trash or next to dumping sites, and that's what looks like to be the case here. Let me take a look at the ground real quick. So there's the memorial there, and I was kind of walking along this railroad, but I came back here and just taking a look at the ground to see what we can find. I mean, there are these bricks, right? And lots of chunks of old concrete. Other stones. I mean, these stones are clearly not from this area. This is all fill, gravel fill. And then this brick. Yeah, I don't know. This brick looks pretty modern to me, but honestly, I don't know enough to say. But there are also all these pavers over here, all these kinds of stones, and generally just big trash heap. I think I'm probably standing on just a big heap of trash. So, yeah, there's a tire, obligatory tire by the train tracks. I've noticed there's always a tire somewhere along, in these places. Okay, that's it. I think we've looked at the ground enough. All right, folks. Now, when Penn landed at the Penn Landing site, which is just there where those trees are, he would have come out to the road and then come up this road all the way and then across this bridge. And if you see, right here is the creek, and on either side there would have been settlements, and he would have come across this bridge. So I bet this bridge is where historically there was actually an original, much older bridge. Would be interesting to know about the history of that bridge. And then I would expect this road is also, the beginning of the path that William Penn would have taken to go up to New Sweden and then up to Philadelphia, basically up through Delaware County to where he would have wanted to make his home in where modern day Philadelphia is. That's my guess. So, yeah. I mean, this park is very empty. Look at these flagpoles. Not even a flag on them. There's no flag here. What's going on? I mean, let's check out what this plaque says. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see if I can read this for you. Delaware County, where Pennsylvania began. Discovered by the Dutch, settled by the Swedes, granted to William Penn by King Charles II of England. Delaware County is the site of Penn's first landing in Pennsylvania. Here, the first assembly met and adopted the frame of government honored in history. Delaware County is the site of the first Supreme Court and the capital and the first capital of Pennsylvania. So how about that? The first Supreme Court and the first capital of Pennsylvania is in Delaware County, and it all started right here in this park. That's a pretty big deal. First Supreme Court of Pennsylvania and first capital in Delaware County. I mean, I continue to say it. I say it every video. Delaware County, we have some good history here. We have a lot of ancient history. And it's in places that people don't even know about. You know, it's in places like this. Look, there aren't even flags on the flagpole, right? No one comes here, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, maybe we'll put it on the map, right? Delco pride. Let's have some pride, and let's honor the ancients by marking that they welcomed William Penn when he landed here. You know, I don't see any birds. Too bad. But I know the ancients are thankful. Hopefully they're thankful. And you know, one thing is, I will say this. I do want to go to the other Penn Landing, in Philly, the Penn's Landing Park. And I also want to go to the Penn Treaty Park on Indigenous Peoples Day. Penn Treaty Park is where William Penn signed the treaty where he, you know, it's sort of a legendary place where he bought land from the Lenape to settle here. And he would have done it, he would have taken the land from them anyway, but he signed a treaty with them, and that whole story is full of, you know, I think there's some pretty good reasons to believe he kind of pulled one over on the Lenape, or at least, you know, it was the story, I don't know, it's sort of a sham story, but whatever. You know, I want to go there because apparently the Lenape do an awesome ceremony and dance, the cultural event there on Indigenous Peoples Day every year. So next time, you know, Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day comes around, maybe we'll go to that spot. But I also wonder if maybe something should be done here, you know? Maybe the Lenape, you know, maybe they would want to honor this place in their own way. If any Lenape are watching this, you know, I'd be curious to know your thoughts about this place where William Penn himself first landed. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I know. Pretty interesting spot. Yeah, I think I'll leave it here, and thanks for coming along on all these videos. And if you really like what I'm doing, please leave a comment. I've been so, you know, honestly thrilled by the response to my videos. I haven't even been posting videos for a month. I'm only like 3 weeks in to posting on YouTube. And already people are so kind and so generous. It's really been a special experience. I know the internet is so full of negativity and bad energy. So I fully expected people to be much more critical of me than they have been. And I've really been touched by the outpouring of support for showing these places. And it's given me a lot of encouragement to keep going and keep posting. I mean, I'm trying to post every day, But you know, we'll see if I can keep up with that as time goes on. But I'll try to bring you something at least, you know, every couple of days in the future. But for now, every day, you know, let's do it, right? Let's visit as many places as we can around here. And I'll take you along. So even though it's winter, we'll figure it out, right? Anyway, yeah, thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all the viewers. Thank you to everybody who leaves comments. You know, like and subscribe. I'm Sean. This is my channel. It's all good. Over and out.